Call the regular monthly meeting of the Salem School Board of Trustees to order. At this time, I have verified their quorum. We're missing Miss White tonight, but we do have 6 out of 7, so we do have a quorum. First of all, comments from the audience. If you have not signed up, there is a sign-up list over by Miss Jana Hayes to sign up and speak. So at this time, we'll do comments from the audience. Who we got first, Jana?
I think we're good.
No comments? Okay. At this time, I know we got a packed house because we've got a lot of Roar Awards, so we're going to go ahead and do the Roar Awards so that way we can keep everyone from suffering through the cold, boring details of school board. Mundane stuff, right? So, we'll start off. I'm going to read the Salem High School Wrestling Team 2023-2024. I'll go through and read the weight classes and who each individual are, and if someone would like to play it.
We do have the coaches here tonight.
Am I going to steal Andy's thunder? Where's Andy?
Andy's here. And
You sure?
We've got all the
I don't want to take your thunder. So does someone want to come up here and pass out these awards? You guys want to come up as I name your name and then you come up? Rodney? Jill? Up to you. I'm not making it. In the 190-pound weight class, Joel Altemeyer, he's a senior. He finished 4th in the Southwestern Wrestling Classic. In the 157-pound weight class, senior Evan Bowling, 2nd in the Southwestern Wrestling Classic, 2nd in the conference, and 6th in the sectionals. And also senior Blake Foreman, and also senior Zane Pauley. In the 132-pound weight class, a senior, Harley Shockey, he finished 2nd in the conference, 4th in the sectionals, and was a regional qualifier. In the 120-pound weight class, Braxton Backus, a junior, finished 6th in the Southwestern Wrestling Classic, 3rd in the conference, 5th in the sectionals, and an academic All-State. Also in the 120-pound weight class, a junior, Forrest Biddle. In the 175-pound weight class, Brady Briscoe, a junior, finished 5th in the Southwestern Wrestling Classic, 3rd in the conference, 6th in sectionals, and another academic All-State. The 165-pound weight class, Brandon Cornwell, a junior, finished 1st in the Southwestern Wrestling Classic, 2nd in the conference, and another academic All-State. In the 215-pound weight class, Noah Dalton, a junior, finished 2nd in the Southwestern Wrestling Classic, 1st in the conference, 3rd in sectionals, a regional qualifier, and a semi-state qualifier. Also in the 250-pound weight class, Noah Lee, a junior. In the 285-pound weight class, Ty Benham finished 4th in the conference. He's a sophomore, and Luke Byram, a sophomore. In the 126-pound weight class, Waylon Foster finished 5th in the Southwestern Wrestling Classic and 3rd in the conference. And Lucas Lynch is a sophomore as well. Waylon's a sophomore too as well, I'm sorry. And Jesse McCutcheon, a sophomore. In the 138-pound weight class, junior Jonah Morgan finished 3rd in the Southwestern Wrestling Conference and 3rd in the conference. Blake Ramsey, also a sophomore, and Austin Reynolds, also a sophomore. In the 113-pound weight class, Sophomore Braden Walters finished 5th in the Southwestern Wrestling Classic, 3rd in the conference, 3rd in sectionals, regional qualifier, and semi-state qualifier. And freshman Darren Ledford. Mr. McCoskey, would you like to say anything, sir?
Our season, I think we finished 19-6. We did the same record last year. There's a couple teams that we beat out this year that we didn't have last year. We beat Seymour and Madison. We beat this year. We also took on a couple of bigger schools since we switched sectionals. Our sectional isn't like football or baseball. It's individual. So we are mixed in with everything from 1A schools to 6A schools. And when we switched sectionals, we found out that we see multiple 5A schools, one 6A, and the rest about 3s, which the competition level at that size of school is intense. So for us to gain traction and see the competition we did and still come out with so many accolades as wrestlers and as coaches and as a program is really fantastic. You know, we're going to lose a lot of seniors this year, but we have a lot of good talent coming up from the middle school, from the club, a lot of sophomores with a lot of talent, and the next few years are going to be very exciting. So thank you guys for having us up here. Thank you guys for the honor of coming up here and getting medals. It's very nice to see that Salem Wrestling is getting recognition, you know, as we should for the amount of work that these boys put in. We started practice in October and we just now finished. So it's one of the longest seasons as far as in-school session, one of the longest seasons that I can think of. So they really put in a very, very long, very strenuous season. So thank you all very much.
Hey, Andy, can you teach Dr. Thurston any moves?
You want to see an old man break? Yeah, it'd be okay.
Thanks, Andy. All right, next up, the Brady Schrum Science Bowl. Sorry?
Mrs. Sweeney.
Hey, where is Mrs. Sweeney? Yeah, Mrs. Sweeney's going to come up and she will read the team members.
I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and I would like to say that this is really a dream team because this group of kids really worked well together. When they had the questions, they discussed each question, they looked at it from every angle, and they didn't just slop through it and just answer. So I'm really proud of them for doing that, and they studied their packets and they studied their vocabulary. And we had a lot of fun. We did some silly experiments and we collected data. It was life science this year. So I'm really proud of their second place in the state. So I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves. Go ahead. Speak up.
I'm Noah Redden. I'm Ava Maudlin. I'm Cash Gettlesfinger.
I'm John McFerrin.
I might add these 5 students are also a part of the math bowl team, which will be competing in April. So just an awesome group of kids.
Awesome.
Stuck in that pocket.
All right, congrats, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
right, next up we have the Salem High School swim team.
Mrs. White is here.
Mrs. White is here, and she will do. Perfect.
All right. So we had our regionals already. The girls have finished their season. The boys still have their sectionals this week. So we are still looking for more winners, hopefully. But right now, from our regional conference, Blake Applegate got all conference for his 400 relay, as well as Micaiah Mather for the 400 relay, Evan Cooper for the 400 relay, and Jonathan Talley for the 400 relay. In addition to that, Evan Cooper also got all conference in the 500 freestyle, and Jonathan Talley got all conference in the 100 freestyle and the 50 freestyle, as well as a new school record in the 50 freestyle. Victoria Gomez got all conference in the 50 freestyle.
Are you being shy?
And Isabel Tunney got all conference in the 100 freestyle, the 100 backstroke, and has new records in the 200 free, the 100 free, the 100 fly, and the 100 back. Both girls made it to the final round at our sectional competition. They did really good. And then the boys, hopefully, there are 2 boys missing that we're looking for all of the boys to move on to the second round at sectionals, as well as hopefully more. But that's, Miss Whitlatch wrote a note for you guys. These swimmers have given everything this season. They have shown leadership, dedication to the sport, and compassion for each other. This small yet mighty team has been a pleasure to coach. We wouldn't have it any other way. They each have made us so proud as coaches, and they represent Salem High School the entire season with dignity and respect. And it's nothing more we couldn't ask for as coaches. And we love each and every one of you guys. You guys have put everything into the sport, as we also start in October and are still going right now. And they skip out on all winter, all Christmas break. And the fact that you keep giving all that you have is amazing. You guys are great.
Not part of the Roar Awards, but if anybody wonders about the different things we have going on at the STEAM Center over at the middle school, these little gold lions were made by Abby Spalding and Grace Hammond over at the STEAM Center. Pretty cool. Okay, we'll give everybody a couple minutes if you guys want to disappear and not go through the grueling. Yeah, I know Harley and Blake there. They're chomping at the bit. Looks like Les falling right behind. Let's get out of here.
I'm going on 7.
You got this.
Okay, routine matters. Approved minutes of the executive regular session of January 8th, 2024 and the special meeting of January 19th, 2024.
I'll make a motion.
Allison Zell makes the motion, seconded by Rodney Bruff. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Approve tonight's agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Allison Zell makes the motion. Becky Humphrey seconds. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Approve claims to date. So Steve Motzinger makes the motion, seconded by Ray Opal. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 6-0. Approval of personnel recommendations and ECA recommendations. I will read all and approve at the end. Crystal Winterstein, resignation from BSC Instructional Assistant. William Clark, resignation from SCS Bus Driver. Joanna Ferguson, resignation from SMS Instructional Assistant. Debbie Catlin, retirement from SCS School Nurse effective May 23rd, 2024. Mackenzie Frazier, maternity leave. Reach Instructor Tracy Cornwell. Charles Troyer, SCS full-time bus driver. Rhonda Troyer, SCS full-time bus monitor, I'm sorry. Kurt Fisher, transfer from full-time bus driver to sub-driver. Andrea Souter, full-time bus monitor. Stacy Holwager, is that correct? Wow. Or you just tell me that, Ed?
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
From bus monitor to full-time driver. Micaiah Rippey, new hire instructional assistant SMS. Luann Hamilton, sub for maternity leave for Mackenzie Frazier. Ask for a motion. Ray Opal makes the motion, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Okay, I'll read all the donations, and then we'll approve at the end as well on these. Donations. Consider approval of a donation to Salem Middle School from John Jones Auto Group, Salem, for $400. This donation will be used towards the purchasing of T-shirts for the 8th grade Washington, D.C. trip. Item 6, consider approval of a donation to the Salem Middle School from Eddie Gilstrap Motors for $400. This donation will be used towards the purchasing of T-shirts for the 8th grade Washington, D.C. trip. Item 7, consider approval of a donation to BSE Music Grades 3rd through 5th for $50 from Art Gives Back, Roseanne Quattro, from painting sales from Terry Subak. Item 8, consider approval of a donation to SMS for $150 from the Salem, Indiana United Women in Faith. This donation is to be used towards the 8th grade Washington, D.C. trip. Item 9, consider approval of a donation to the Salem Schools Nutrition Program for $100 from the Salem, Indiana United Women of Faith. This donation is to be used for the Needy Student Fund. Item 10, consider approval of a donation to Salem Middle School for $100 from Judy Matthews. This donation is to go into our Rod Carter Scholarship Fund to assist a student to attend the 8th grade Washington, D.C. trip. For those that don't know Rod Carter was a long-time middle school counselor, was big on the D.C. trip. Item 11, consider approval of an anonymous donation of $800 for the Lions Unified program. Item 12, consider approval of the following donations to Salem High School. Disney Club, $50 from Linda Schneider. BPA, $100 from Salem Apothecary for State Leadership Conference. $50 from Jeans Extrusions for State Leadership Conference. $200 from Lynx Clothing for State Leadership Conference. Athletics, $2,000 from Jason Wade Insurance for Game Time sponsor. $50 from Val and Dan Kelly for the Memorial Aaron Humphrey. $25 from Kathy Huey, Memorial for Aaron Humphrey. Struggling with that. Unified Lions, $200 from Lori Carpenter. Science Club, $3,500 from Cornerstone. Lee Farms for 2023 crop share. FFA, $3,500 from Cornerstone Lee Farms for 2023 crop share. Item 13, consider approval of donation to SMS for $400 from First Harrison Bank for the purchasing of T-shirts for the 8th grade Washington, D.C. trip. Item 14, consider approval of a donation to SMS for $25 from James Mayfield. This donation is to go into the Rod Carter Scholarship Fund to assist a student in need or assist a student to attend the 8th grade Washington, D.C. trip. Allison Ezell makes the motion, seconded by Becky Humphrey. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Action items. I'll read these individually. Action item 15, consider approval of overnight field trip to Indianapolis, Indiana for BPA on March 10th through the 12th. Mrs. Chandra White. Allison makes that motion, seconded by Rodney Bruff. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Item 16, consider approval of an overnight and out-of-state field trip to France and Italy on March 13th to the 23rd, 2025 for Mrs. Joanna Schmidt. Becky Humphrey makes that motion, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign.
Do they need check marks?
What's that?
Do they need check marks?
You have to ask Mrs. Schmidt. There, Mrs. Zell. That motion passes 6-0. Item 17, consider approval of an overnight field trip for the military club to Lagodi, Indiana on April 26th to the 28th, 2024 to participate in the military event. That sponsor is Jeremy Lee. Allison Ezell makes the motion. Ray Opal seconds. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 6-0. Consider approval of an out-of-state field trip to Kentucky Fair and Expo for the National Farm Machinery Show for FFA on 2/15/24 with Mr. Seth Verlee. Steve Monsignor makes that motion, seconded by Becky Humphrey. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 6-0. Consider approval of an overnight field trip to Evansville, Indiana on 2/9 for wrestling semi-state. This is retroactive. Andrew McCoskey. Allison Ezell makes that motion, seconded by Rodney Bruff. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Consider approval of an overnight field trip for the Winter Guard to Union, Kentucky on 3/16/24 with Miss Brittany Hildebrand. As for motion, Allison Ezell makes a motion by sneezing. Becky Humphrey seconds. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Consider approval to recommend graduation exercises for Salem High School to be held on Saturday, May 24th or May 25th, 2024 at 2 p.m. Ray Opal makes that motion, seconded by Allison. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 6-0. Consider approval for Salem Middle School to transfer funds from the inactive ECA accounts into the Student Activities Fund. Motion made by Allison Ezell, seconded by Ray Opal. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 6-0.
Can I say something?
Yes.
If you guys have any questions about the Italy trip, Mrs. White will answer anything. Sorry, I didn't get that in. She was here.
Okay. Well, Allison has questions.
Chaperones.
Just in case you had any questions.
That's exciting.
It is. If there's a launch, there hasn't been very many students looking to go. It is expensive.
Just out of curiosity, how expensive is it?
Just under 5,000, which with everything included is really not that much.
That's
but
actually better than what I
in your
thought.
brain, 5,000 is a lot too.
Do you need a bus driver?
Actually,
Well, I
And
appreciate
it
it.
looks like it's 10 days, so I mean, there's,
yeah, so it's plenty of time, and they see like everything, but I feel like it's a slower pace than the DC trip because you're actually in a location. It pays for like 2 meals a day and all of the travel there and everywhere you stay. So it's a good deal if there ends up being students that want to go.
are the students doing any fundraising or anything for it, that
Well-
kind of like the Disney Club does, or?
So, it's through the EF Tours, and my daughter, is Tally, teaches at Charlestown, and she has like 10 kids going, and so Madame had been talking to her students and had a few people interested, so it's not even through a club, it's just seeing if kids want to go, and so if we have Salem students going, then I would go too, so that there's a Salem chaperone as well. But Mr. Lee, at the meeting that we had, he seemed interested, and like he wanted to go. So
what is the deadline for you to?
Well, right now they gave a $100 discount to be if you signed up by the 16th. But you can sign up. It's just the closer you get to
More expensive.
The more expensive. So right now it's like just under $400 a month of payment in order to stretch it out, and you can pay an extra. I think it's $300 and be able to cancel without any problem all the way up to like the week of the trip. And before that, you can still cancel. Like they watch how everything's going. If there's any problem, like if COVID happened again or something like that, or if there was unrest at all, they would refund and or else reset up a new date within. I think it's within a month of the actual trip. So it seems like a good deal because they've got all of the security factors. They've already planned everything accordingly, so you don't have to figure out where you're going at what time. There's a whole slideshow that I can sit.
Well, that's a great opportunity though.
Yeah, it's an amazing opportunity. It's just whether I guess it just has to reach the students that have the willingness to work for it, I guess.
Sure.
Thank you, Mrs. White. I've lost my place. Item 23, consider approval of the early literacy grant. Motion made by Steve Monsignor, seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 6-0. Consider approval of the esports lock-in for Friday and Saturday, March 1st through 2nd, 2024, from 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. Ray Opal makes the motion. Seconded by Allison Ezell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Consider approval of year-end transfers. Rodney Bruff makes that motion. Seconded by Becky Humphrey. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Consider approval for permission to advertise for sealed bids for playground equipment.
Yes, we currently have renderings and estimated pricing from 5 to 6 vendors regarding replacement of the Brady Shrum playground. I would say that Matt Gorman has done a tremendous amount of work, done some really good work getting information to us, talking with vendors. He and Mr. Blankenbaker, Mr. Setzer have really dug in and done a fine job getting us ready to approach this. Now, initially, we believed that the vendors that were coming out at the top were not part of the cooperative purchasing program in the state of Indiana. That's why we're asking for permission to advertise for sealed bids. And hopefully with that timeline would have a recommendation by the March school board meeting. If it turns out that the preferred vendors are members of cooperative purchasing organizations that are licensed in the state of Indiana, we will not need to advertise for sealed bids, but would like to have the permission to advertise out there in case we need it and move forward with it. So recommendation would be to approve us seeking sealed bids for the playground project.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
Allison, did you have anything to say, Matt? Anything you wanted to add to that?
No, we've had, I'm in contact with 8 vendors. One of those vendors never responded back. One withdrew because they didn't have a playground equipment manufacturer anymore. We're still working on that. Then we did get 5 that have returned all the renderings and quotes for us to look at. So we've had pretty good success. We met with what I consider the top 3 last week, just to go over complete renderings of everything. Not really the final touches, but just seeing where we're at and touching base with the city going to help remove equipment and how that's going to play into the cost savings on the project itself as well. But also we're working together with them, with the installer of the playground equipment, with the city to make sure that when they're here to do the removal, that somebody from one of the companies will be here to oversee the project as well, just so it doesn't hinder anything no matter what happens when we go to remove things, it's helping them along the way too. So we've been in constant communication with them.
So the city's going to be able to use some of that equipment that we take out?
They're going to remove the entire playground system for both playgrounds and use everything they can possibly use. And then on top of that, anything that's left over, they can have for scrap or whatever. We've come to agreement with that as well. So that cost savings is tremendous for us to be able to use that. So it's a win-win for both of us.
That's great.
Okay, motion on the floor by Allison. Need a second? Second. Seconded by Steve Motzinger. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Did you want to do this update on this construction project?
Yes, we can. Sure, absolutely. This is not an action item. It's just a report on where we are currently with the projected expenditures and available funding for various projects. And the board received a report in December 2023, and this is just an update on that activity. And if you recall, the 2023 bond issue was issued at $3,175,000. We had projected ESSER 3 funding left of $590,000. We believe we have remaining construction fund dollars from the safe room, around $469,000 and change, which would give us total projected funding of $4.2 million. It cost $105,000 to issue the bond. That would left approximately a projection of $4,129,172. And to date, we've purchased 4 school buses for $339,496. We've approved, contracted for renovation of the football field and press box for just under $1.8 million and change. And we were able to secure a new chiller bank here at the high school from the ESSER funding for $372,000, well under the $590,000 that remain in the ESSER funding. So we're looking at $2.677 million with about $1.45 million remaining, and we project the playground between $750,000. So we believe we're going to have between $700,000 left at the end of this particular stage. As I said, no action is required. Informational only.
Thank you, Dr. Thurston. Fundraisers to approve. Lions Unified shirt sale through Lynx Clothing, 1/12 to 2/16/2024. Let me just go through all the fundraisers, and then we'll approve at the end. Item B, Salem Military Club Chicken Barbecue at the Legion, May 11th, 2024. Student Council Candygrams for Valentine's Day, 2/7/24 through 2/13/24. Student Council Valentine's Dance, 2/24/24. Brady Shrum Elementary School Store, 1/22/24 through 1/31/24. That's for motion. Allison makes the motion. Seconded by Becky Humphrey. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. That motion passes 6-0 for those fundraisers. Already did the Roar Awards. Spring meeting, that was discussed in the ISBA, correct?
Yes, the dates for the meetings.
Any items from staff? Matt, anything? Karen, anything?
Karen, you want to say anything about the farm to program that's going? I saw like a few things on Facebook about that.
So Salem, I got an email back in the summer saying we were selected to participate in a program through the Indiana Department of Health. And it's called Local Food for Schools. And it's a grant for 1 year. And we finally started receiving product in November. So everything we get through that program is free to Salem schools, and it's all through the Indiana Grown, so it's all coming from Indiana farms. And so we have gotten produce through there, we've gotten beef, all our beef we're using right now is all through that program. It's fresh local ground beef. We've gotten some pork. Next week will be our first time using the pork. So we're going to try our hand at some pork shoulder that we got. So we're going to try our hand at some fresh local pulled pork. And we have some pork loin coming soon in the next few weeks, so we will look for some recipes to use that. So it's all free. So far, I think we've gotten over $40,000 worth of local Indiana-grown food, so it's a win-win for everybody.
You know what the downfall is going to be? Dr. Thurston may come over for lunch.
Maybe.
That's okay. That's
But I bet
okay.
Mr. Day's right behind me.
I think we've got our local ground beef patties again on Thursday at the elementary, and I know they're having them at high school and middle school some days too, so.
And then
That's
National
awesome.
Breakfast Week, March
National-
4th to March 8th, right?
Yes, National Breakfast Week coming up.
Okay. Be looking for some board members with some smiling faces for breakfast.
Put me in the
Okay.
headline.
What else we got? Do you have anything, Ed?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to J.D. Wade Swift and his class for coming down to the bus garage and creating a CPR video inside the actual bus. And I want to thank Matt for participating in that, coming down and creating this video of showing what needs to transpire and what needs to happen with CPR when the bus is in motion and what's going to take place. It's fixing to be instilled and put out on YouTube starting tomorrow, if I remember correctly. And I want to give a big shout out to Matt for taking care of doing another CPR class for us this past Saturday. So that makes 2 the bus garage has taken care of and been a part of. And then I want to give Keen and Jeremy Robbins a big shout out for taking care of the bus inspection, making sure all the buses were taken care of. Everything passed with flying colors down there and didn't have any problems.
Awesome.
Great. Ms. Martin, do you have anything?
No, it's middle of February.
Close to the finish line.
Almost getting the scheduling done, getting ready. Seniors have their big scholarship application right now, Salem Education Foundation's, Washington County Community Foundation. Honor Day will be here before you know it.
You 3 ladies have anything? Not to put you on the spot, but why I'm asking everybody. Okay. So, non-action items. No non-action items. New board business?
Not that I've been told.
No new board business. Positive praises. Let's start with Ray.
Oh, okay, thank you. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate all the young people here tonight for their involvement and participation in all those activities. And also, don't forget the sponsors who are putting all their time in for that, because it takes a lot of time to take care of those activities. And then Saturday, I got a call about listening to a couple of our young people do the IHSA basketball on the TV, Adam Moe and Nick Ingram. So I tuned into the 1A, I think it was 1A, I don't think it was 2A basketball game, and they did a really nice job. I listened to quite a bit of it. Then I decided I want to see how they're doing compared to some people that maybe are more professional, supposedly. So I turned over to the Bedford regional, and actually they did just as well as the guys who are known to do this quite often. So shout out to those 2 young men for doing that. So that's takes care of it, I think.
I just want to congratulate again our Rural World winners tonight. To have that many kids in wrestling, that many kids up here tonight winning those awards, it's amazing. It's a very positive thing for our school system, and I feel like our school system is just moving along in a very positive manner. Thank you.
I just want to congratulate Xavier Dunaway for achieving his Eagle Scout. He's a senior this year. Thought that was pretty neat. And then the baking club I've seen on Facebook is back in action. I think that is great. And then JD, I watched episode number 3 today, and it was great. So, good job.
I want to talk, last week, Ben and Crystal Woods came to the elementary and did the Look Out for the Left Out program. So they did had everyone in the gym together, and then they spent time in each classroom. And just a powerful message, I think, to all the kids of, you can talk about showing kindness, and it's one thing to wear the t-shirt, but what that looks like in action, and the work that they did and coming over, I thought it was just a great great day, and everybody from the school talked about what a positive day that it was all around. So I enjoyed, being able to watch that. Congrats to the 7th grade boys basketball for being county champs. 7th grade girls basketball were county champs and MSC champs. So they're a fun little team to watch, and so that was exciting for them. And a little shout out to at the Indiana State School Music Association, Billy Reynolds, Darius Porter, and Elaine Houchin and Emily Setzer are going to state for that. So yay them.
Dr. Thurston.
I feel real fortunate every day to be able to work with quality staff, and I'm going to not try to leave anybody out. Of course, Mrs. Myers, Ed Jordan, Jana Hayes, Jennifer Martin's out there, I see, and of course Matt's only one of the facility managers here tonight, but Joe England and Kim Payne do outstanding work. All three of them do outstanding jobs taking care of their buildings. Make it real easy, for me to work with them, and I enjoy that. And then they're just really proactive and do a very fine job. And then certainly cannot leave out the Salem Classroom Teachers Association, who we've had real good support from this year, good relationship, and look forward to that continuing, and active discussion each month with the association. Appreciate that. So, thank you, Mr. Day.
You're very welcome, sir. Ms. Myers.
Again, thank you to all of our generous donors. So many wonderful donations. Reminder that Monday, February 19th, is an in-person snow makeup day. We'll be in school to make that day up. I'm so excited about the opportunity for the students to travel abroad, and so many great field trip opportunities. The DC trip was one of my favorite trips to always supervise, so I'm anxious to see how the students enjoy that as well. Last week was National School Counselor Week. Thank you, Ms. Martin, and all of our counselors. You do a fabulous job. And the Polar Plunge is coming up, so if you haven't pledged anyone yet, you have just a few more days. They'll be jumping in this weekend. And it's really exciting news about the playground. Thank you, Matt, for all of your hard work on that. I know BSE students and teachers are going to be really excited when that becomes a reality. So thank you.
All three Roar Award groups, the wrestling team, the science bowl, and the swim team, two of those kids went to semi-state, Braden Walters and Noah Dalton. The JAG program seems to be up and running, and I guess Mrs. Kreischer's making some headway with that. It looks like they were at a good deal. Yeah. So we're reaching a lot of kids. Karen brought up, I'd read about the grants bring locally farm raised food to our cafeterias. She'd already talked about that. That's huge for us. Our Life Spring Clinic, I think we're one of the only schools around. Maybe New Albany, I know, also has that clinic, but my daughters have just walked out of class over to elementary and been seen and signed up for physical therapy and all that stuff. So it's very, very convenient for parents to get in there, and also for staff members to use them as well. As Dee Dee now works over there in the office, so familiar face in there too. And the other thing is we've signed up for the family friendly designation. And are you familiar with that?
Yes,
Okay.
I've pushed all three schools to apply because all three schools are family friendly schools. They just need to put the seal of approval on it. And it's a process. If you haven't done the family survey yet, please take the time to do so. The staff and students are completing that as well. And I hope to see all three schools with that designation here in the spring.
Tom?
Yeah, I do this from time to time. I see that Roseanne Quattroke once again is on here. We've got a lot of major donations, but Roseanne Quattroke is making a donation because Ms. Suvak purchased a painting from her. And if those of you aren't familiar with Ms. Quattroke, she wouldn't want anything said about it because she resists any public accolades. But I just can't say enough about how I see her paintings everywhere. She's an outstanding artist, and you can commission her to paint something and you pay her for it, and 100% of the money goes to a charity of your choice, a not-for-profit of your choice. And I think I've got no idea how much has been donated locally, but just kudos to what a great program. And I just to see her on here over and over again. I've mentioned her before, but if you don't know about her, feel free to look her up on Facebook and tell her you want her to paint something, and she'll donate the money wherever you want it donated. And she does an outstanding job.
Thanks, Tom. The REACH grant, if you notice all these groups doing neat, fun things, it's a great opportunity for kids to get involved in a group and feel like they belong to something. And most of those are brought to wonderful people sponsoring those groups and by the REACH grant. Great work, great thing that we've got going there. Like I said, it gives everybody an opportunity to feel needed or feel something they're belonging to. I'd like to commend Andy McCoskey. Andy McCoskey's been wrestling coach for what, 4 years now? 3 years? Andy does a great job with these guys. He's really built the wrestling program. I know this whole list here, I think there was 5 seniors, so he's got a good looking group. And I know he has some great assistant coaches, and I know he has some great middle school people helping out with that program over there. So I'd like to commend Andy for doing a real good job with that wrestling program. Okay, next regular monthly meeting, March 11th, 2024. May I have a motion to adjourn? Motion made by Becky Humphrey, seconded by Allison Zell. All in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Meeting adjourned.